Oh, hello. Welcome back. How we doing? Welcome to the second strum. Product placement. Hey, I'm not advertising that. Right, so I've just left the... wrong map. I've just left this bit here. And I'm going to drive down and see if we can get that bit down there. But I should be able to do this one now, because I think that was next, wasn't it? Yeah, side swing. So if we jump in the other tatter in, hopefully, there we go, I can do that one. You can only see that bikini on only nuts. I'll plug it out. That's that one done. Jump to that one. Mr. Scotsman, thank you for a 1 year anniversary. Mr. Kaler, 16 months. And Bullet Boom, thank you for 46 months. Did I see any upgrades around here? There's bound to be some stuff. Thank you, Emerged Chaos. Right. I think some inputs are in the game. Let's find them. There they are. Always back.
Hey.
Did you have a nice break? What did you have?
Well, I had beans on toast and half a tub of prawn cocktail Pringles. And Somi had a dose in a Factorio.
Did not have a dose. I had a jab.
Hashtag addicted.
That's your fault anyway. I lost my train of thought.
You're right there, Somi. If you just like stopped working altogether.
Somi.exe has stopped responding.
I need a reboot, I think.
You're still thinking about Factorio? Oh, as if they left a giant pipe in the middle of the road here. Imagine being able to just crane that out of them.
I'm still not convinced about this garbage.
Right.
Can I ask why you say it like that?
What are you not convinced about?
So I don't know whether we ought to.
Sorry.
I don't know whether we just sort of redo the reduce reuse one and assume that that gives us 4 bits of garbage back.
Surely if we need to take 6 there over 2 missions, that the implication is that there's another 2 out there, we just don't know where they are yet.
Yeah, but that's concerning from a point of view of no idea that this taking out the trash one that you can't look at anymore, even where they were or where they're meant to be.
Well, it could be on this map, but I don't have the mission highlighted, so I wouldn't be able to tell you.
So what do you want me to do? Reset the mission?
What mission is it? And I'll see if there's any on this map.
So, Paul, a dilemma of delivering 2 pieces of trash, which was for the Kalari group taking out the trash.
Okay, when I click on it, it says it's on the Highlands map or whatever it's called.
How can you click taking out the trash? It's done.
Heartlands.
Yeah, the reduce reuse is on the Heartlands, but there should be 4 bits, and as far as we know, there's only now 2 because Paul used 2 from this one for that one.
I was confused.
Anybody else in the stream see that float, that dancing barrel then? Lone Wolf, thank you for 3 years. Happy anniversary. You're welcome. Martin, thank you for 4 months. Flecky, thank you for 4 months. Meh, timed mission. Don't care.
Somebody didn't want you there, Paul. That's why they chucked it at you, Ross.
It did come flying at me, Punter Boy. This barrel just jumped out of a skip and came flying at me. McBone, thank you for 106 months, sir. Right. Jump over here. Let's find out where that road goes. Pug, thank you for 52 months, sir. How's some new DLC? It's like the other map DLCs. Lots to do. It's more of a muddy farming type setup rather than, say, snow or ice. There's a new vehicle or two in there. If you enjoyed the other content, you'll enjoy this, basically.
Bit.
You're just firing up Factorio. What did you have to eat, Paul, in the break?
Chips and chili con carne.
Very nice.
It was actually, it was quite nice. Made some chip butties with some chili con carne on, dipped them in all the chili con carne juice. Lovely.
Sounds really good, actually. Better than my beans on toast.
This doesn't look crossable here, does it? Mr. Oblivious, thank you for your raid. Welcome, guys. Hope you had a good stream. Maybe I can cross further up. That looks deep. Yeah, that's just going down and down and down and down.
You get the sinking feeling, Paul.
Very much so. Just in time for nightfall when I need to cross a river. Across here, maybe? Possibly push through and take some damage. Maybe. Always RM, thank you for 200 bits. Let's try...
I'm back.
Wubba.
How was Factorio?
Long.
Oh, looks deep there as well. Hey, Mr. DJ, thank you for 27. Oh god, that is way too deep. That's not happening.
Well, we all know he likes swimming, Jack.
I can see some... I don't know if that's a reflection or just some nasty rocks under there. It's a trap. Like, the fact that it's flowing quite quickly just implies it's going to get quite deep. That was a lot of damage. Yeah, that was a lot of damage. Well, I stopped overthinking it, Bandit, and just went for it. But I took a lot of damage, which is exactly what I said would happen.
I found the other 2 bits of garbage.
You have?
Congratulations.
Where were they?
They are in the Crossroads map. And they are in the southeast corner. Down where down at the railway terminal, I would say. I would call that part of the world. So other than craning them out, it doesn't look like too big a deal to do that. So that's sort of that, but I still don't know where to get these drilling... Was it drilling spare parts? Or...
Yeah, it's not showing us where to get those from yet. There's two required, I think.
It's on the Heartlands map, wasn't it? Drilling spare parts is what we're looking for. Although, looking at the map, there's possibly another way onto that island now that somebody's done. Was that you, Pups, or was that a watchtower, or I don't know?
What map are you looking at?
At Heartlands.
I think that's Paul.
So, if I could get down to there...
I am Bonio, thank you for 49 months. Ah, big trailer here, farming trailer. It's going to be fun to get. Evan, how are you doing? So, Summer, do you want to try and finish those garbage missions off then?
Can do, unless you're busy.
Well, I'm just going to grab this watchtower, then I'm free.
Okay, so I won't take that if you're going to join me.
Ooh, what's that on the road there? Small Scout flatbed. And a Don 71. Ah, there's the bridge. Yeah, okay. At some point I'll need to use this Tataran to go and get that unfinished bridge because we're going to need it. Because the other road's mostly unpassable down there. Which map are we going to?
Well, we've got complex recovery in Heartlands, and we've got long logistic trip in Crossroads.
Okie doke.
So up to you, really.
Well, one we can't do without doing the river.
Yeah, but that one I think we can. That's what I'm saying. You know, from where you are, if you go out of the yard, turn right, second right, down by the river, and then that's all hopscotch across. Yeah, I didn't know that path existed.
Is that a truck though?
Yes, looks like it.
Right, well I've got 24% fuel, so I have to go to the Azov that are parked and get some fuel, if we're going to go for that one.
Yeah, well, I'm back in the garage, so I've got a long drive to get there anyway, so...
Right. Well, do you want to basically... I'll go and put myself at this fuels tanker. You drive yourself over here, and while you're doing that, I'll do more exploring in that Tataran.
Well, I'll go the other way, so there's no need for you to wait for me at the fuel truck. I'll go the other way.
Okay.
Yeah?
Why do the trailer stores have to be so far away from the garages?
To make it a challenge, mate.
It's not stressing me out, though.
It's only 71 days, J10. Flipping that.
Can we just...
The partner's in the front room rapping.
Rapping?
As we speak.
Yep. Wait, what?
Yep.
Rapping?
So,
On it like a car bonnet, mate.
Well, like Dr. Dre kind of rapping.
No.
I'm saying, I don't know if she's musically gifted like that. Keep seeing excavators around the place, and I just want to jump in one and start digging a hole in Snowrunner. I've not even thought about it, Jack, if I'm honest with you. Thank you, 83.
One of my nan's neighbours, who I'm friends with on Facebook, has finished their Christmas shopping for this year and is starting on the Christmas shopping for next year.
Wait, what? No,
Yeah,
no.
like honestly, I'm not even making that up for entertainment purposes.
Just no. How can you be like a year? I mean, how?
I don't know, mate. Like, this is about the limit for me. Like, October, less than 100 days, it's time to start thinking about it.
That's I don't know what to say about that.
But you know that we make quite a lot of handmade gifts and stuff like that for our Christmases, so it takes a little bit of time,
Whiteland, don't make me fix that script.
Please just leave it.
Go on, fix it, Paul. Go on. Go on, Paul, fix it,
No,
it, Paul.
because I'd have to fire up that terminal program
Well,
again and
that's
have
all right.
60 seconds of beeping.
The stream would put up with that just to have it put right.
Oh, please.
Go on, Paul. Go on, Paul.
Just leave it how it is. It's perfectly fine. Like, don't listen to Whiteland. What does he do for you anyway? Apart from break stuff. Like, he doesn't even play games with us, Paul, so we're not important to him.
It's Whiteland, though, isn't it? It's Whiteland. And thank you for performance. H3 Blair, thank you for 9.
There's more fix-its than not.
Just leave it alone.
I can see the cogs whirring in Paul's head.
I don't want to mute the stream for a minute just to listen to that stupid thing beeping.
Yeah, well, you don't need to do it, Paul. It's perfectly fine how it is.
I'd buy it if it wasn't stupidly priced. It's literally a terminal app and they want like 80 quid for it. I'm like, give me a break.
Warehousing, please, and don't forget the concrete.
Thank you, the
How
bits,
many-
Felicia. I used to use Penguinet. That was like 20 quid and Penguinet stopped being developed a few years ago and I used it for so many years. Really annoying.
Does anyone know how many points a medium log is?
What load points?
Yeah.
I think it's 2. Hang on, in what context?
As in, it says I need to deliver 2. Is that 2 truckload?
That's 6 logs.
To 2 truckload.
Yeah.
Oh, I have to do that 6 times.
Or 3 people do it twice.
Yeah.
Problem is getting to the trader store to grab the extra medium log cart. It's not like it's around the corner.
Christmas candy, what, you mean like a candy cane and stuff?
Can we talk about anything, literally anything, apart from that?
It's starting to be the season, pups. You can't be, I can understand it in May and June, I get it. But, like, less than 100 days, dude. Tomorrow it'll be 70 days and less.
Not just...
I mean, you'll be putting all the lights up soon on the house, so it'll definitely feel like Christmas then.
Can you stop as well? Just no.
Christmas 24 is on Sky, so it's really close.
Well, no, because it starts in September, doesn't it? Christmas 24. Or is it August? I lost track. It literally runs for half the year.
Isn't that Mrs. Squirrel's favourite channel?
Yep. She just puts that on endlessly when it's on. There's only about 5 or 6 plot lines, just different actors. Well, I'm parked up ready, so where are you?
I'm making my way across the river that isn't a river or a bridge.
Is a rail section too?
I think it's 4.
Oh. Truck down here. Let's have a look.
I'm hoping, Paul, that this road actually leads to the path where you're adjacent to.
Yeah, let's hope so. I thought Die Hard was the best Christmas film. Right, what's this then? That looks pretty beaten up. It's pretty right. It needs repair points. I've run out of repair points to get that. Refueled it though. Chaos Coda, thank you for 65 months. Oh yeah, Christmas Vacation is a must. I agree.
I hate you. That's got to be done, doesn't it?
Oh. I quite like a Muppet Christmas Carol. It's quite fun.
I did actually buy my parents the eggnog glasses. You know, from Christmas Vacation.
I feel traumatized.
Alright, taking the bridge mission for when we need it.
We should give Sean on Christmas Day a kebab, a drink and a blanket so he can sit in front of his PC gaming.
Is that camper van just behind us just a scenery item or?
No, I'd assume it's a mission of some description. Front or the back?
Front, please.
Or middle?
That's going to have to move, isn't it?
Well, we've got one loaded up on your other truck in the garage, haven't we? So that, in theory, needs to go back to the junkyard. So whether you want to do that and then at some other point grab the other truck to run that down the road.
It's supposed to be a scout vehicle.
Yeah. I'm assuming there's a mission for it somewhere.
So we're going to do one back at the garage, then we're going to drive that down separately.
Well, if I bring a sorry, I don't seem to be with it. I'm going to spawn a twin steering as well as my crane and start driving that across to the other site, so that perhaps by the time you've driven both, that'll be about right, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I just lost a wheel annoyingly.
Are you carrying a spare?
I don't
I think you are.
I'm actually. Interesting. Oh. That suddenly went. That's two close calls I've had.
You did really well there, mate.
It was like...
I was like, oh, please don't.
No, he's doing it again, look. Literally just driven forward a little bit and it's...
I just got to run downstairs a minute.
Oh, it's because it's in the middle or what? It's been a real pain.
Well, the amount of stickers they have in this game now is ridiculous.
Oh my god, I just bust another one. So much like junk in the water you can't even see. Bits of metal frame just pop one of the wheels out. So I've got no suspension, a broken wheel.
But you're still the correct way up.
I'm still going at the moment. 1,000 for a wheel. Yeah. It's quite a big wheel, though. Honestly, they should just airlifted this garbage. Still waiting for that Chinook DLC.
Yeah. I'm contemplating the implication of the Land Rover DLC.
What, the fact that you'll feel compelled to drive it even if it's rubbish?
Yeah, see, I'm in a moral quandary of spending money to get a DLC that isn't really required, but if I get it, I'll want to drive it, and if it's not very good, then I'll be really disappointed.
Read some reviews then. See, if they blended this game with Console, we could excavate like roads away, remove rubble, come back with asphalt, like put gravel down, tarmac, resurface the roads, you know what I mean? Lift pieces into place to rebuild a bridge.
Yeah.
And
It's
then
still
do
a
everything that we
concept.
do.
Yeah, it's still a concept of we would love to be able to terrain modify, because we would immediately put like good roads in and out of garages and stuff, wouldn't we?
Yep. Do you mean there wouldn't be any mud running to the game? We're probably better recovering this. It's pretty wrecked.
Yeah, that's fine.
The whole truck just went boink because it had its suspension fixed.
Well, let's say I've spawned a twin steer in and just make them away across, but whether you're going to grab that other truck that's in front of you now.
Tatra.
Yeah, that was the truck that you dragged in, wasn't it?
Try and get that over there. It's raining. But the tarmac might be a bit too far for me. Really? You see, I really like the idea of they set the map up so there's areas that you just cannot get to. And places that you can get to, but if you fix some roads up, it would make life easier in the long run. So, you know, but it just gives you the choice to do things. And instead of just taking some materials to a place and it going, da-da, the bridge is built, or da-da, the gravels and rocks been removed, or da-da, there's a tarmac there. Like, make you do it. Blend it with content. I mean, I like both games, though, that's the thing, and I want to see them together. I want to see this aspect that we have now of cool vehicles and, you know, great physics and taking stuff around the map. But I also like the concept aspect of supplying materials, lifting them into place, resurfacing, rebuilding stuff, putting infrastructure back that's been damaged by a flood or whatever it is. And I like the idea of putting those two things together. It needs more danger than just mud. Have you seen snow? Not in this map. You're in Asia somewhere. I don't think we'll get snow in this DLC. There's plenty of other maps if you want, like Yukon, Alaska. There's plenty of others that are really icy and snowy.
The Kola Peninsula.
That's the one. The Coca-Cola Peninsula. Or the Koala Peninsula.
Yeah, the first map was Michigan.
You're annoyed by a moon.
The other map.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what that was like. There have been some maps that have been just really tested. Oh, the rocket map. There was one map that had the... Oh, what was it now? It was rocky and icy. It had some areas that you kept falling through. I even got a Tatooine beached in the ice. And there was like a research station or something in the middle on the left. It was very difficult to get to. That was one I didn't enjoy.
I don't know if that's Kola.
I'd have to look back through to find it. I think it was the one when we was playing it, we basically said, it feels like the devs sat down and just said to themselves, how can we turn this up to 11 to really annoy everybody? And it was that map. We just kept saying it as we played through it. I mean, yeah, if you don't put chains on your tyres, then some of the icy roads are really nasty. Like the Tatooine's main disadvantage is that it can't get over big rocks, and you can't put chains on the tyres. So as soon as it comes up against big rocks or black ice, it's done. That's its weak point.
Yeah, well, there was that hill, wasn't there? Where we had to like triple
black ice
team
road.
it up. Yeah.
Yeah, like a barrier around the outside. A hill on left and a crash barrier on the right. Mr. Lotus, how you doing, sir? 97 months. How is one of the rest of the Squirrel family? I'm doing all right, thank you. Would you blend two games as long as you had to complete the task, or do 25% and complete? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I get where you're coming from, though. Some people might not like having to rebuild infrastructure. They just want to drive around and drop things off, which is fair. So it could perhaps blend it as an option, like Consim should have done. Pretty good truck, this, actually.
Are you actually kidding me?
You rolled it?
I just dragged a truck down here when there's a crane in the train yard that's available to be used.
There's a crane in the yard.
There's a crane, there's a Tatra, a Taiga 6436 that is actually available in the train yard where the other two bits of garbage are.
Which map are you on?
Never mind. Crossroads.
Do you need me to come over there?
You can do.
You need to bring anything?
No, I've got the crane and I've got the twin steer. I've actually got 3 cranes because somebody's parked a twin steer down here as well.
Why am I not seeing you on?
Crossroads because you're on Heartlands.
Oh, well, that's why.
Yeah, I pulled into the yard and see that yellow truck over there.
What, the one to my left?
The one to the right.
Oh, that's usable.
That's actually usable, yeah.
Wow, okay. %76% fuel in it as well. Game, please. And where's the fourth one?
Just over here, I believe.
Cool.
I'm back. Sorry about that.
Welcome back.
You alright?
Yeah, it turns out I may have just put some tyres on a bit too much for everyone to undo.
Tyres?
Yeah, Dad's outside putting some new brakes on my brother's car, and I was the last one to have his wheels off. And I may have done them up a bit too tight. Well, I wouldn't say too tight, but
How can you do
They're
a
just
tyre up too
weaklings.
tight? It just snaps around the rim.
they're just weaklings, so... I did smack my knuckles off the concrete, though, which ain't fun.
You don't mean the wheel nuts on the wheel, do you? Or do you actually mean the tyre on the rim?
The wheel nuts, sorry.
Right. Okay.
Sorry.
I was a little bit confused.
But to me, they wasn't like... I didn't do them up tight.
Oh, I've got to drag this through to the other map, which is the quickest way out of here.
Down the tarmac road, I'd say.
I got to go out to the Heartlands, don't I? There.
Yeah. Out of here, straight across, follow the road, turn right at the T-junction, past puppies, fill up with gas through to the Heartlands.
I'm on my way down to grab a rail section. In a truck that I have not used in, like... I don't know how long.
Do you need it lifted on, pups, or...?
I've got a crane. If there's a crane down there, it might come in handy. I've only got the little one that's attached to this truck.
Yeah, have you not got a torque wrench, pups?
Yeah, but that's what I did it up with, but apparently it was still too tight for that. I just went out there and done it, and then smacked my knuckles off the concrete driveway.
Because you were struggling to undo it.
No, because I undone it, but then forgot to... I was just like, oh, I've got this.
A rail section is 5 slots, yeah?
4.
5.
Same thing. I've got to pick a trailer up anyway, so...
Yeah, I'm just saying bring a 5-slot trailer, not a 4-slot trailer, yeah?
Yeah, I'll take the flatbed, that's a 5 slot.
I don't
5-slot
think-
trailer.
I don't think you'll need a crane. You, in theory, should just be able to put it in from the cargo menu, I think.
Unless a crane's for the other end.
I could be wrong. I'm going to leave this truck here because me and Paul are done with it now.
Okay.
There is already another one here, so...
But as in the UK, trust me, no matter what garage you go to, they will not tighten your wheel nuts up to a certain spec. They literally just put them on with a impact gun.
See, to put them onto a certain spec, they'd have to look up the values that they're supposed to do, and that's too much.
I mean, that's effort, Paul. Even I know that's effort.
Just put it on. This'll do for most. Zzz, zzz, zzz.
Well, most of those air torque wrenches are like more than what a manufacturer would specify for doing wheel nuts up with anyway, so...
Currently on the Russian rocket map tomorrow.
Wonder if they fix that bug yet with the train.
I think that was a desync thing, right?
That was synced for us, I mean.
Yeah, we perfectly saw what was going on. Paul didn't,
host,
and
on
then
the
all
other
of a
hand.
sudden he did.
Impacts brake wheel studs. Not in the UK, my friend. Pretty much every garage or tyre place you go to uses them.
Whose international pay star is this at the rail terminal?
I'm guessing it's Paul's because it was there when we loaded back in.
Okay.
Yeah, I left it though. Why?
Because
Sammy wants to steal it.
I might be able to line up the next mission where I need 3 things, so...
Can they just go back to putting the trailer yards in the garage, please? Hey, Somi!
Hey, Pups.
Hey, haven't seen you in a while. How's it going? Not sure whose fuel tanker that is in the corner, but I've just stole fuel out of it.
I think
would
it
be
was
me.
the games. Oh, was it yours? Did you drag it there?
It depends if it was it on a trailer or was it a vehicle?
Trailer.
No, it's not mine. Game then. I've put 2 vehicles around the map. Concrete bus stops everywhere. Oh boy. Squeaky bum time. Remember when we used to have to coordinate before going through a tunnel?
Yeah.
Oh, thanks for the music. Bella
It's not
Zersk
music.
Glades. You will listen to our little musical interlude, even though if you go to your settings, audio, music is turned off.
Oh, talk about music. PC Build Sim has streamer-friendly music.
You see, that's how they need to make games now, given what YouTube and Twitch does.
I only know that because of the video Linus did on it.
Remember what they did with Cyberpunk in the settings?
Yeah, they had the setting, didn't they?
Yeah, that you could like have music or you could have copyright-free music.
Did Thingy do, what's that game? Teardown have the same option?
I can't
I feel
remember.
like it did.
Don't think it did, if I'm honest.
And that was a fun game to watch you play.
Because I never really heard much music in Teardown. The only thing was like the news channel.
I mean, to be fair, Paul, you did make the news a lot.
Every day, in fact. A mysterious person has just stolen all these pieces of art. Who could that be?
Wasn't you, Paul?
A lot of cars have been stolen from a millionaire.
Are they working on a DLC or anything for that game?
I don't know. Probably.
Or like a Teardown 2?
I don't think they need to do a teardown 2. They could just drop DLC, but depends how much money they want to take from people, I guess. Doing all right, Pulsar? Truck leaning over in the middle of a bend and my face starts itching. It's like, that's the perfect moment. Gallant Old Glory, thank you for 9 months. AMH, thank you, 26 months. Vinny, 34, and Merlin, 47. Thank you, guys. Done a lot of like mini projects, but nothing big yet. Maybe the solar things, the big infrastructure thing. You know, like we've not had the move the big drilling rig, or move the rocket.
Oh, you have just built this factory from a pile of bricks.
There was one factory that we built on a Russian map, and at the end of it, like the actual factory looked amazing.
Yep. Well, wasn't that the truck, however you pronounce it, Brian? Tatra?
The Tatra factory, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Dolby, thank you for gifting sub to Pulsar. Look at that factory, and Pups was thinking, I'd love to pour all that concrete.
Oh, yeah. Best part of Consim, that.
He's a concrete genius, he is. Self-proclaimed concrete genius.
You get a degree in concrete.
Do you know, actually, concrete is one of the most complicated substances known to men. It sounds strange because we use it all the time, but there are so many variations of concrete that you can make, and scientists still don't fully understand. Like, you know, they haven't finished getting all the different mixtures that you could possibly use of it for the right application. It's just an entire science to itself, concrete. Quite bizarre.
See, that sounds like a degree I'd do, Chris. A degree in concrete.
Probably need to be good at chemistry and material science, if I'm honest.
How do you know I'm not?
It was just a wild guess. I mean, I could be wrong.
I mean, I think you're probably right, Paul, but...
And concrete carries on setting for like decades after it's been poured, which is another weird thing about concrete. $15,000. That's more like it.
And more XP down the drain.
But this has unlocked some stuff here now, look. What's that broken house symbol? Lost treasure.
I think I unlocked 2 warehouses after I deliver this thing.
Could you accept clean slate, Paul?
Accept what?
Clean slate. It's Kalara Group still.
Done.
Thank you.
Start feeling concrete's the bigger of study today. There you go. It's an ongoing thing. Pops could be a pioneer in self-healing concrete.
Right, where do I sign up?
We can get vehicle spare parts from here. That's all. So I don't know if we need vehicle spare parts on a mission, but I can get them from here if we do.
I think
Well-
I'll unlock 2 more items as well after this track's been delivered.
You needed 3, but I brought 3 from the Heartlands because they weren't available at this stage
Ah,
when I started that. So
I have no doubt we'll need to take them to the Heartlands at some point.
well, I brought them from. We were in the Heartlands. I brought them from Crossroads.
What's his trash container bag? Hermit's shack. Want some garbage though? Yeah, okay.
Seems a lot of crane action on this.
Oh yeah. Risky endeavour. Deliver vehicle parts to the Institute. Along with 2 oil barrels. But I don't know where you get the oil barrels from. Railway Blues.
From this railway, you can now get solar panels, drilling spare parts, wooden planks, and concrete.
Drilling
blocks.
spare parts.
That's what we needed.
What map is that on?
Heartlands.
Cool.
There is no real OP truck, Willow. They all have pros and cons.
For scouting, Taran. As long as it's not on ice, right?
Yeah.
Even then, I think, if you got enough momentum,
I mean, there are some strong vehicles and there are some weak ones. But there is no one vehicle you can just say that will just get me through everything. Scratching my hand to drive into a fence post.
well, don't scratch your hand.
I had to, mate. You know, not really an option. I mean, Pups used to use the Azov for everything, apart
That's
from
the
scouting.
truck. I just used that truck, and I was like, I remember why I stopped using that truck.
The fuel, not
Yeah.
economy.
Ah,
Yeah. That's the thing, like the very, very capable vehicles often burn a lot of fuel.
Snowrunner devs, if you're listening, can we please add like a search bar feature to the truck storage screen?
As if they're
Thank you.
listening.
You never know, Paul.
As if.
Like just a search bar. It's not much to ask, right? Just a search bar.
What was that was Stormworks, wasn't it?
Yes.
What?
That was Stormworks, wasn't it?
What?
The search bar feature, yeah.
That the oil field was bugs, but they added a search bar, and
Yeah.
the rage ensued for decades.
Oh, can you activate the harvest less years? 30 harvest, however you pronounce that word.
Done.
Thank you, Paul. Right, where did we leave the cultivators? That's the question. No, there's a field round here somewhere we used them. Or was that the other map? Does anyone know if you can buy the farming equipment at the trader store?
I didn't see it, but I wasn't looking. That makes
Was you in a
sense.
tractor though?
No, I was not.
That could be why.
Maybe like if you drag one of the farming things to the trailer store and store it, then you'll be able to rebuy them. But until you've done that, you can't.
Mellow pups is quite nice sometimes. I'm always mellow.
No, you're not. I can't believe you just said that.
You got any proof to say otherwise? Actually, don't
Yes,
answer
the
that
entire
question.
stream.
We wish you a...
No, Sam.
Like, that's... Wish you a... That's literally 3 words, and
I
you
know
don't
where
become
that's
mellow.
going. I know where that's going, and I don't want any part to do with it.
But he's mellow, Paul, right?
He's always mellow.
I'm mellow in my own way.
That's his assertion, is I'm always mellow.
I'm mellow in my own way. You just don't understand.
What would you call thumping the desk being mellow in your own way? And you thump your desk a lot.
I mean,
Only when we play Siege.
you're even tightening wheel nuts up too tight, man. I mean, it's just not mellow,
It's
is
not my
it?
fault, I'm just super strong.
It's all that leverage from short arms, that's what it is.
That's what it is, Paul.
Oh, about 2 months ago now, you know my mate's BMW that I borrow sometimes, Paul?
Yeah.
That had like a blowout on one of the tyres. So we had to obviously get it off. Couldn't get a jack underneath to begin with because the tyre was that flat that the sill was too close to the ground. Then, after we'd got the wheel nuts off, which were more than tight because they hadn't been off for years, the damn wheel was like rusted onto the hub, and I had to use another vehicle to pull the wheel off with.
Oh my god.
Honestly, it was a nightmare.
Wow.
I mean, how
I've
long
never-
since he changed the tyre?
Since he had it new, I think, so long time. But
What the
genuinely,
heck?
like, I'd had a hub stuck on a wheel before, and I'd used like a ratchet strap between 2 vehicles to just jack it off.
Right.
But this was that stuck that even a ratchet strap wouldn't shift it, and I got him to sit in the front seat, because obviously the car was on a jack. So he sat in the front seat with his foot on the brake, and then I drove the other way in a vehicle with a rope tied between the rim and me. It was the only way we could get the damn thing off.
I don't know. Where this trailer's meant to go.
Yeah, I saw that. I figured it would. The missions will let us know at some point,
Oh,
right?
scumbag game.
Could you do damage evaluation, please, Paul Collado Group?
Done. Literally that donkey attached to the only dot there, thinking it was the head of the trailer, and ended up dragging a small tree.
Silly person, Paul.
Which
Silly
just
person.
happened to be there.
Of course I'm the Hulk. Everyone knows this. Super smart, but super passionate. Actually, I don't even think smart's the right word for me. Super dumb.
Passionate is the word you're looking for.
I didn't, donkey. I left it on purpose.
I'm very passionate. I mean, I've done some dumb things working on vehicles. But that's the British way, you see.
Oh, what is it? You just thrown us all in there.
Yeah.
I've done some dumb stuff, but that's the British
Did
way.
you just hear what Somi said?
That was an engineering solution for a problem, alright? There's
If it
nothing
came
done.
off the jack?
And that's why he was sitting in the driver's seat with 3 brakes on.
Oh, okay, because that could it still could come off the jack.
It could have still come off the jack,
Yeah.
but I was being very careful. I didn't just like drive at 1,000,000 miles an hour. I was very cautious.
And next I ran it over with my tank because the door wasn't open.
No, I don't run vehicles over with tanks. That's just not what I do.
That's what he wants to do, but it's not what he does.
No, because the after effect of the damage caused to the tank is just not worth it.
You need a Russian tank then.
Yeah. it's literally you spend so much time, love, money, and effort into restoring these vehicles. The last thing you want to do with it is crush something with it.
I mean, I can't
damages
have a
it.
tank and not crush something.
No, I've done. Don't get me wrong. I've done it. Okay, I have
Then
done
how
it.
did the tank get damaged by you running over a car?
'Cause
That's
all
what it's a
the-
tank.
All the side armor that covers the tracks, it gets all jammed up in there and it rips it all off and it scratches the hole out of the
It's not
hell
very good
out of
tank
the
then,
hull.
is it?
Yes, it's how it works. It doesn't matter how strong it is; it still gets damaged.
I won't be getting that tank. That's an idea, yeah. Just take it to KFC, Simon.
We've taken it to a few takeaways this time. It is always really intimidating when you pull up at a fuel station. Because most of them you need to turn the turret a little bit. So...
Honk the barrel at somebody.
Yeah, you've got these...
I don't like your Renault.
You turn on, and most of the time you have to traverse the turret to the left. So if you park on the far right of the forecourt and the till that happens to be on the far left-hand side of the forecourt, it literally looks like you pull up, you then turn the turret which points towards the attendant at the time. It's like you see a lot of them sort of move a little bit as you turn it round.
How much does it cost to fill a tank?
I
on
genuinely
your
know,
tank?
Paul. I would scarily worry how much it actually costs. The
I
last
know
time
how
we
much. Do you know how
brimmed
many
it-
litres it holds, Simon?
Yeah, that's what I'm now going to just figure out.
Because I know how much fuel is around me.
It's got to be in the hundreds, right?
New Year's firework display is happening again at London since 2019.
700 litre tank, maybe?
So the little one that we drive around in is about 400 litres.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine. That's only a 650 quid filler.
Only?
Well, when petrol was £2 a litre, it's £1,000, basically.
Yeah, no.
And that's the petrol one, you know.
What I like about those vehicles is like you don't talk about miles per gallon with them, you talk about gallons per mile. Captain Flint, thank you for gifting us up to Mellow Puppy, and Phil, thank you for 96 months.
As if
Fatman,
that's
Merry
actually a
Saturday with
name.
27 months. Fatman, thank you. And Gamo, thank you for 13.
Mellow puppy.
Is that actually... I might even question it at this point.
This random guy on Twitch has just got a sub to your channel and he's like, what?
So who's Squirrel? Abrams was 1,000 litres. Jeez, man.
Yeah, the biggest main battle tank that I've driven is a Chieftain, and that has a 1,200 litre tank. It's technically 4 separate tanks and then a main tank in the bottom, but yeah, 1,200 litres.
It's a precarious bridge. Yeah, here's the thing though, Captain Flint. I have that option turned off where I can't receive subs from channels that I don't follow, and yet I still do. I still have subscriptions to channels I've never heard of.
That actually an option?
There's an
Yeah,
option.
Well, it
yes,
is, but it doesn't work.
Yeah, it's been in there quite a while, but it doesn't work.
Pups, isn't imitation the best form of
Oh, maybe.
flattery?
Thank you, Onamichi, for 1,000 bits. It is indeed so. Maybe it stops people from giving you a sub if they do it as a mass gift, but you can't really stop somebody from like doing what Captain Flint did, where he just specifically gifted a sub to a person. It can't stop that.
Yeah.
Which then would imply that somebody specifically gifted me a sub.
Which is more scary.
Well, no, it's actually because my channel name is just the word squirrel. It's not unthinkable that somebody would just, somebody was talking about squirrels in a stream and some gifted us up to squirrel.
Yeah, but mine's... What is my username?
What, today? I don't know. Is it Passionate Pups, Raging Pups? I like Puppies 241, 247. Like...
I don't know why I forgot what my username is.
Oh, what today? Oh my god.
He's passionate. Hang on, I'm going to
What, he's going to say something in chat just to know his own username?
What his username is, really?
Yeah, passionate puppet. There we go.
There you go.
Yes.
And I get like random gifted subs like at least 4 times a week from channels I've never heard of or been in.
And have you got the setting turned off?
Yes.
Right, there's no way somebody specifically gifted us up to Passionate Puppy.
Well, I don't have it switched off, and I don't get that many random gifts.
Actually, Pups, if you go to subscriptions on Twitch, you can see who gifted it to you.
Oh, that's a good point.
Imitating yourself is cheating. Ups.
Pups. Imitating yourself is cheating. Pups.
I can't believe I forgot what my username is. Tell you one thing, cultivating in this game in the dark isn't fun. I can't see what I've done and what I haven't.
Right. It doesn't even give you like rearward facing floodlights, does it?
Nope.